Hello everyone, it's day 5. Today I did three free code camp challenges, Drop It, Sorted Union, and Pig Latin. I looked at others, but I attempted I think like 2 or 3 more, but like I ended up getting like 50% checks, 50% X's. So I saved my code. I normally like copy the code into CodePen, save it, and then like whenever I want to go back to it, I'll go back to the CodePen and try to figure it out. I also continued on with the Jest section on the Odin project. This section, the resources that they gave us to read, they weren't particularly helpful to me. They sent me to like a YouTube video playlist, and I won't say the person's name, but like they're so animated, like when they explain to the point that it's distracting to me and I just don't get anything out of it. So I actually looked on YouTube, and Max from Academine, I have his JavaScript course. One of my JavaScript courses that I have is one of his. So it's like a 48-minute video. So probably tomorrow I'll watch that. This section was on mock testing with Jest. Basically, it is a difference when you have to test asynchronous code. You basically have to make like fake functions to simulate making a API call or whatever. But yeah, just the way it was explained on the Odin project, it just wasn't working for me. So I'll take a look at that. I did a little bit with the navbar. So for the productive app, I was going to like dynamically create the whole thing, but I realized that that probably wasn't like the most efficient route or whatever. And I think what I decided to do is everything that's going to be constantly used, that's going to be in the temp HTML file, and then the container, like all the info that constantly changes, that's going to be dynamically rendered. So that modal that pops up for the form, I'm going to code the HTML because it'll just be so much easier, because I want to do like the little animation when the label pops up to the top and all that. I think I've decided that I want to take off the finance section because I have an idea for another app that I want to save from when I learn React. And so that will pretty much pertain to what I was going to do with like the finance tab. So I'm going to take that off. So it'll still be a dashboard project. It just won't have that aspect of it or whatever. I think it was kind of oddly placed to put that with it anyway. But yeah, so this will kind of be like, I guess, the to-do app for the Odin project. Theirs is more like, I don't know if you heard of the Todoist. It's actually a real program that you can sign up for on the internet. It's like a really fancy to-do list, basically. So like they told us to basically find something like that and recreate it, like all the different functionality and all that. So basically a to-do list, but you're adding extra things to it to like take it up a couple notches. So I think the way this is going, now that I take the finance tab off of it, I'm gonna submit this project as the to-do project, or whatever. So and then for the weather app, I wanted to have like a little widget that had the weather. You can display the weather on the app, just, for whatever. So I think I'm going to do is like build out like a separate program to still turn that in, just so I can do all the Odin projects. And then I'll still have this combined app that'll be, like a combination of them or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, just my thoughts. I'm definitely looking forward to learning React, just because based on I can see like the complexity. It's not even like this app is hard. It's just super tedious doing certain things with only vanilla JavaScript that I feel like with React probably be 10 times faster, just because of the way that it's set up. Not that it can't be done, it can. But like the bigger scale your projects get, I just feel like React will be more useful. But at the same time, I'm not like, oh, let me just jump ship and just go learn React right now. Like, no, I still have like stuff I want to check off that I've done with JavaScript, because at that point, I feel like once I go to learn React, I'll hopefully will be literally only have to learn the syntax of React. Like I won't have to find out what a class is and all the stuff that a lot of people rush to hurry up and learn React, and ends up having to go back and learn vanilla JavaScript to even do it in React in the first place. So, but yeah, just my thoughts. Also, another cool thing that happened today, Don, the developer on YouTube, a couple of days ago on YouTube, he put out like a post that just said anybody that wants their portfolio or a portfolio project reviewed, leave the link to your portfolio or the project itself in the comment section, and he was going to review it today at 2:30. So I think I saw the post like a day later, and so I sent my link to my portfolio, and he went over it. He had like, he's very critical, but I appreciated that, just because, especially on Twitter, like, I know people mean well, but like, it's way too many people that literally just they're almost like a robot. Oh, this is great, and one token, it's people who they really haven't learned enough in web design, I guess, or web development to know that it really sucks, and they just see that it's cooler than what they can make, so they say it's good when it's really not, or whatever. So I appreciated the honesty that like, you're probably not going to get anywhere else. So I had like a page of stuff, like tips that I wrote down. He probably spent a good like it's more than 5 minutes, like 8 minutes or so on each person's portfolio or their project. So it was pretty decent compared to what you normally see. He didn't look at my project, just my portfolio itself. So he gave me like different tips or whatever. Basically like the cool stuff, like the what do you call it? The smoky hover effect that it says front end developer. He was basically like, when it comes to animations, make sure that they serve a purpose. And he was like, that hover, like, it looks cool, but beginning web developers make that mistake of like trying to I don't mean like trying to look more creative, but like they feel like they have to put a bunch of animations or whatever in places like to show their skills when it's not needed. Like, it's a time and a place for it, basically. And so he was right. Like, he was like, save stuff like that for like a button or like something the user has to naturally click on anyway, and they're used to something happening when they click on it. This was literally just text that moved when you hovered over. There wasn't a link or anything to it or whatever. So I have a blur effect on my buttons, and he was like, yeah, think about what the hover effect, what the state change is actually doing. And he was like, a blur effect kind of gives the illusion of like a disabled button. Like, oh, don't click on this. So when you go to click on it and you see that blur, it almost, he said probably, I mean, of course it doesn't really deter the user from clicking on it, but like, it kind of sends that message. I really don't want you to be clicking right here. So I didn't think about that one. So definitely going to go back on my portfolio and change some stuff around or whatever. But yeah, but that was neat. And there was a couple people, like, it was only like 20 people or 22 people watching the live stream, which was kind of sad. I wish there was more people on there or whatever. He went over about like 5 portfolios and probably like 4 portfolio projects. The live stream was probably like a good hour and a half, 2 hours. But it was pretty neat. So, but yeah, I think that's all I did today. But yeah, overall, decent day. Day, I forgot already. 5. I think it's day 5. Or maybe day 6. Either way, if you watch it from the beginning, you know what day it is. Peace out.